So interesting thing that's just happened with ChatGPT is that it doesn't know the time and date, and I tried to get around it. So I'm trying to find out the time in Washington based on the time in England. So I started by asking just purely, what's the time in Washington? It said, sorry, I'm a text-based AI, don't have access to current time. I don't have the ability to browse the internet. Just wait until you do. Um, so then I tried, how far behind GMT is Washington? Because that's a calculation. Washington, D.C. is Eastern time zone, which is 4 hours behind Greenwich. So it's giving me very useful information here. It's telling me what time zone it's in. So I can do that calculation on, I can do that search on Google if I want to. It's telling me which country it's in. It's 4 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time. And it's saying during the winter months because we have daylight savings time. During the summer months, daylight saving time is in effect, and the difference between Washington and DC and GMT is reduced to 3 hours. That is a very, very useful answer. What I've then tried to do is get it to use those answers to calculate the time difference, which it hasn't done. Usually it reads the previous conversations and it will infer, but at the moment it's not doing that. So this one is a bit confusing. I think maybe it's 0908 in England. I've given the dates so that it can try and work out the winter. And then I said, what time is it in Washington, D.C.? What I think it's picked that up as is just a separate question of what time is it in Washington, D.C. Again, I get the answer. I'm sorry, I'm unable to provide the current time in Washington, D.C. because I'm a text-based AI. Um, so then I tried to go hypothetical. So I said, if it was 9 o'clock in England, 13th of December, what time would it be in Washington? Again, same answer. So I tried to make it really just a calculation. If Washington is 4 hours behind England and it was 9, what time would it be in Washington, D.C.? And again, I got nothing. So what I was planning on doing now is just to refresh it and see if the reason it's giving me this answer is because it's stuck in the previous chat. So let's try that now. So if Washington is 4 hours behind England and it was 9 o'clock, let's add more specific information. In England, in winter, what time would it be in Washington? Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we actually have our answer here. If it's 9 o'clock in England and Washington's 4 hours behind, it would be, so it's picked up its winter. It would be 5 in Washington. This is because England is 9 and Washington is 5. The time zones are usually calculated relative to Coordinated Universal Time, UTC. So the difference between time in England and Washington will remain constant regardless of the time of year. How is that interpreted with a, I'm going to introduce a new phrase here. Cold on the boat this morning. Yeah, it's very interesting. So we have our answer, which is extremely good, but weird that it got caught in the loop there or caught in the previous chat. That's what I think is going on there. You let me know.